Reach Immortal in 60 days with this roadmap. It all starts with mindset and aim. Number 1, deliberate practice. Don't just start up aim labs and play a scenario you feel like playing.
Yeah, boy.
Practice with a goal. What are you trying to improve? Your tracking, micro adjustments. Pick a goal and work towards it. If you don't, you're just going to waste time and not get better. But wait, you need to work on your mindset alongside your aim for this to really work. Here's my 8-step formula. Number 1, clarity of purpose. If you don't have a clear, deep reason, your discipline will disappear when things get hard. Make it obvious for yourself why you're doing this. You need a strong enough reason to overcome the difficult problems you will face during this climb. Number 2, emotional regulation. Discipline doesn't mean you never feel lazy or frustrated. It means you don't let those feelings decide your actions. You need to control how you respond, not how you feel. Notice the emotions, pause, take a break if needed, set your mind straight and stick to the plan. Now you need to understand aim technique. Aim is improved just like everything else, by error correction, by iteration, by making mistakes and fixing them, slowly stacking improvements until your aim is godlike. So when you play aim labs, don't just try to get higher scores. High scores are the result, but it's not the goal. Just like in school, you're not there to get good grades. You're in school to learn. In aim labs, you're there to improve your technique, not to get high scores. So analyze your technique while playing and find your mistakes. Are you flicking slow? Are you over flicking? Are you shooting too early? Miss this step and you'll be wasting precious hours that could have been used to get better. Grinding aim for hours is a common trap people fall into. Therefore, you need to learn. 3, consistency over intensity. Discipline is a habit, not a heroic one-time effort. It's a character trait, one that you need. Small consistent actions daily beat huge consistent bursts. Lower the bar and show up daily even if it feels pointless. You don't need to do everything in one day. If you only have energy for 10 minutes of practice or one game a day, that's fine. Progress is progress no matter how much. 4, delayed gratification. Can you say no to the easier path today for the bigger win tomorrow? That's discipline at its core. You need to be able to trade short-term comfort for long-term success. Can you say no to spamming ranked in order to get better? Because you need to learn this crucial part of good aim. 3, tension management. How you manage tension in your wrist and arm is key to good aim. Without understanding good tension management, it's impossible to become a top-tier aimer. In almost all scenarios, you want minimal or as low tension as possible. Valorant is a game of precision. Tension can help with speed, but makes precision incredibly hard. Grip your mouse like it's an egg. Very gently. Higher tension is usually a sign of poor technique. Therefore, you need mindset tip 5 and 6 to help you grind and get better tension management. 5, self-honesty. A disciplined person doesn't lie to themselves. They don't say I'll do it later when they won't. So be honest with yourself. Will you do it or will you not? It's that simple. 6, resilience to failure. Discipline doesn't mean never failing. It means not quitting after you do. You will skip a day. Life will get in the way. You won't be perfect. That's okay. What's not okay is not getting up and trying again. Expect setbacks, measure success by how fast you reset and start again, not by how perfectly you're following the plan. Resilience will help you with aim tip number 4. 4, how long to practice. Practicing for too short or too long can really hurt your skill, resulting in suboptimal improvements. If you're going to aim train, you might as well get the most out of your training. Therefore, you want to aim train when you have energy and can focus. It doesn't matter if it's before or after your sessions, or if it's in the morning or at night. As long as you can focus, your neuroplasticity will be high. Your brain's ability to learn. If you aim train when tired and without focus, your brain won't learn as much. For most people, 20 to 40 minutes is a good range. But a lot of players use willpower and motivation to force them to practice. Don't do that. Do this instead. 7, systems over willpower. Willpower will fade. Systems such as habits, routines, environment is key to long-term success. Make being disciplined as easy as possible. Example, you're trying to lose weight. If you have no junk food at home, you don't need willpower not to eat it, because there's nothing to eat. Set up systems and your environment to make it impossible to fail. Eliminate distractions and make it easy to climb and grind instead of being distracted. 8, self-generated motivation. Self-disciplined people don't sit around waiting to feel motivated. They know motivation comes after action, not before. Start moving even when you don't feel like it. Momentum creates motivation. But there's an important pitfall here. There are 2 types of motivation: extrinsic and intrinsic motivation. Extrinsic motivation comes from society, intrinsic comes comes from within you. If your motivation isn't coming from something that you actually want, then your motivation will fade. So ask yourself, where does my motivation come from? And ask the bigger picture question, why do you want to reach Immortal? With motivation, you can work on the final part of aiming. 5. Speed. When practicing a scenario, start slowly and accurately with good technique, then speed up. This technique is popular in dancing culture. Dancers learn the choreography at a slow speed first, then speed it up. This is a very effective way to learn. The faster you go, the harder it becomes. Take it at a speed where it's challenging but not impossible, and you will learn the most. It's crucial that you push yourself. When you push your speed and precision, you will make more mistakes because it will be harder, which is good. You rise by sharpening the deadliest weapon you have, your aim. If you're willing to lock in, to give it everything, your entire game can transform in 60 days. In Valorant, you can have the perfect plan, the perfect read, the perfect position, but if you miss, it all falls apart. Now, mastering movement. Have you ever wondered why it feels like you're always getting one-tapped? Why it feels like every duel ends before you even have a chance to react? The brutal truth is, it's your movement. The most important part of good movement is how you strafe during a gunfight. Big strafes is key to good movement. It allows you to take your time between strafes and line up your shot, while also reaching your full speed and making you a nightmare to hit. So, practice big strafes with bursting. You must learn to aim and move at the same time. When you see a target, you want to flick while moving, stop, and micro-adjust, confirm you're on target, then fire. This is something you're going to include in your warm-up every day. Do this practice really close to practice big flicks with movement, but also far away with movement and micro-adjustments. Next, you need to play team deathmatches to level up your movement. Apply movement when holding angles. If you miss the first bullet, move, then shoot again. Don't stand still and spray. Build the instinct that when pressure spikes, your movement will save your life first, not your aim. Movement is your main tool for surviving when you are at a disadvantage. Therefore, practice moving as soon as an unexpected enemy appears. Instead of flicking and spraying, move, then flick while moving, dodge their opening bullet and flip the script. In game, it's difficult to predict where every enemy will be. If possible, you want to use utility to clear certain angles, but if you don't have any utility or you want to push without sound, your biggest weapon is correct movement. It's called slicing the cake. The more areas you expose yourself to, the higher the likelihood of you finding someone. But you also have a lower likelihood of correct crosshair placement. So, to make sure you isolate fights with good crosshair placement, stand far away from corners and slice the cake. Pick one angle at a time. Movement is key. It's survival, it's power, it's the difference between getting one-tapped or doing the one-tapping. Curry is a player who has reached rank 1 6 times. What's his secret? Team play.
Lower. Joining. That's clear. Slant.
Yes.
Right now. Maze, chamber. Left side.
Curry understands the value of communication. He understands that it's one of, if not the easiest ways to rank up. If you want to reach Immortal in 60 days, you have to step up and be a leader. You have two choices every time you queue up. You can cry about your teammates or you can use them to win. Valorant isn't a solo game, no matter how sharp your aim is or how smart your plays are. At the end of the day, the best team wins. And if you don't learn to communicate, to plan, to lead, you lose. Communication transforms chaos into control. It allows you to reach Immortal in 60 days. It makes it possible. On attack, planning is everything. If no one's taking charge, you step up, you tell your team where to go, what to do. Even a simple plan is better than silence. Feed your team information. Every piece of intel you give, where an enemy is, where utility was used, where you heard footsteps, is the difference between a team that's blind and a team that's unstoppable. Comms aren't optional, they're how you turn Valorant from a coin flip into a controlled victory. Is this the agent you decide to pick? But it's not just that, it's also how you play that agent. You need to stick to one role as much as possible and one agent. If you don't, then reaching Immortal in 60 days is just not going to be possible. You might think filling is good. I mean, at the end of the day, you're picking what the team needs the most, right? Well, that's not the case. In every game you play, you have a limited amount of attention. You cannot focus on everything at the same time. You're either focusing on your crosshair, your communication, or looking at the map. We can of course switch between these really fast, but the more you have to focus on, the harder it becomes, the more scattered you become, and as a result, the worse you play. So here's what you need to do instead. You want to focus on what's important, planning with your team, focusing on your fights, finding ways to win against the enemy team. Here's what you don't want to focus on: how to use your agent's abilities, where to put your smokes, where to use your raise nade, when to stun. So what should you do? Simple. Master one agent and have a backup, then insta-lock them every game with without hesitation. Why? Because you can't trust your teammates like you can trust yourself. You don't want to follow, you want to lead. You want to be the player who dictates how the game is played, not the one hoping someone else does it for you. Also, mastering your agent is power. It means every game you're squeezing every drop of value from your mechanics, your utility, your experience. You aren't guessing where your abilities go. You aren't second guessing timings or lineups. You're executing with precision. Every second you waste flexing agents or stumbling through new roles is a second you fall behind the players climbing past you. Every game is different. There are different players, agents, and a different map. Each map demands a different strategy, playstyle, and mindset. If you can't adapt, you lose. Just look at pro play. Teams specifically practice and ban certain maps. Wanna know why? Because maps matter that much. Whoever is best at the map wins. But because every map is different, it can be quite difficult to learn every map, especially since there are 7 maps in the rotation. To be honest, 7 maps is a lot to master. You need to know timings, common angles, lineups, map strategy, best agents. It's exhausting just thinking about it, right? Because there's so many maps to master, you can't just try to learn all of them at once. The big goal here is to be as efficient as possible, or you won't reach Immortal in 60 days. Therefore, you're going to master them from your worst map to your best. Use Valorant Tracker to look at your win rates on all maps. Watch a pro play on that map with your main agent. Don't analyze anything the pro is doing besides map specific tactics. Which angles are they using? Every map has different strong angles. You need to identify these angles so that you can use them in your games. The difference between a good and a bad angle, one keeps you alive, the other one sends you straight to the grave. What agents are being played? All agents aren't good on all maps. Some agents are just more suited for some maps. In most cases you can get away with playing your main agent on any map, but there are exceptions, like Raze on Breeze. It's a long range map with big areas. Raze has very few places to satchel to without dying, but also very few places her nades are strong. Understanding which agents are strong on which maps also gives you a deeper understanding of how that map is played. How are they attacking? Is the pro pushing 5-man with their team? Are they splitting? Are they pushing fast or taking it slow? Or are they faking and rotating a lot? Some maps have tight chokeholds that can easily be spammed with utility from defenders. This often makes these maps harder to rush on. Some maps have multiple ways to enter site, which could favor splitting and pushing the site from 2 directions. Understanding how to attack on a map is going to win you a lot of rounds, but that's not all. Depending on which agent you play, you need to learn and master any lineups for that map. Lineups are extremely strong and can be game winning. Don't miss this easy opportunity to win free rounds. Guides and watching pros will get you maybe 50% there to master a map. After all, knowledge is crucial, but you don't just want to be good at a map. You want to be the best in the lobby. The other 50% is eliminating mistakes on that map, which can be fixed in a few different ways. Either you just play that map and write down any mistake you made, or you do it the right way and honestly the hard way by VOD reviewing. VOD reviewing doesn't have to take hours. You can just look at the rounds you lost or died, figure out what you did wrong and fix it the next time you play. And here's the truth you need to hear. Most players will never do this. Most players will keep running it down, map after map, mistake after mistake, hoping they'll just get better with time. But not you, right? What even is game sense? Game sense is the skill that lets you predict what happens next. Without it, you're always one step behind. With it, you control the game. Therefore, you need to improve your understanding of the game fast so that you can be in control. Game sense is a fundamental that carries over from game to game. It's as fundamental and crucial as mechanics. Mechanics can just be practiced and improved, but game sense is a bit trickier. After all, how do you make better decisions? You make a decision, you mess up, and then you fix it. That's called an iterative process. Mistake, correction, over and over and over, until your decision making is sharp enough to destroy your enemies. Either you analyze which bad decisions you made after a death, find a better decision to be made and make sure you don't repeat the same mistake, or you VOD review. Again, becoming top 1% isn't always fun. That's why most people aren't immortal. They're not willing to do the boring stuff. VOD reviewing gives you a bit more time to think through a mistake, allowing you to find a much better play you could have done. This is a longer part of the 60 days to Immortal for a reason. This is a hard part to shortcut. You need a lot of iterations. You need to make a bunch of mistakes and improve all of them. The more mistakes you can make, the more decisions you can improve. Improving game sense is a grind. You have to be honest with yourself and admit the mistakes you're making. Do the work, fix the mistakes, control the game. That's how you win. The final 5 days. make or break. This is where you put everything together and make the climb. During these 5 days, you are not looking to improve. You are doing one thing and one thing only, and that is playing your best. By now, you will have mastered your mind, mechanics, team play, agents, map, and game sense. All that is left to do is play your best game. If you don't succeed with this last climb, you won't reach the finish line. You won't reach Immortal. But playing your best every single game is easier said than done. It's not easy to play without tilting, losing focus, or losing enjoyment. So how do you play at your best every game? How can you force yourself into flow state? Energy is key. If you're tired, you won't play at your best. During this last push, you only play ranked when you have energy. Without energy, you won't be thinking and planning. You won't be as fast in gunfights. You won't be able to focus for the whole game. To reach flow state, you also need to eliminate all distractions. Your ranked games should be receiving your undivided attention. Don't listen to music, don't sit in Discord with friends, and don't look at your phone or tab out when you die. It's honestly that simple. All that remains is for you to take action and achieve Immortal.